Hi students, today we will start with a new chapter, structure of atom. So in chapter number 3, atom and molecules, we discuss few things. I hope you remember those things. So like atom, we discuss in that chapter that all things are made up of atoms and atom forms the molecules. So basically all matter is made up of atoms. So we need to understand the structure of atom to understand how these things work. So in chapter 3 we discussed that Dalton's atomic theory suggested that an atom was indivisible, so atom cannot be divided further. But later, after his theory was published, we discovered electrons and protons which are inside an atom. So which where the Dalton's theory failed. So now as we know, all things are made up of matter, and matter is made up of small particles called atom. We need to understand the structure of atom, and Dalton's theory was not able to explain it properly, and the reason was that in the future we discovered different subatomic particles which are electrons, protons and neutrons, to which we call them as fundamental particle also, and sometimes subatomic particles too. These subatomic particles makes the atom, and they provide charges to the atom based on like we discussed ions. So based on which type of subatomic particle it has different charges. Like electrons, they are negatively charged particles, protons, they are positively charged particles, and neutrons, they are neutral compared to electron and protons. So you can see in the table relative charges. On charges scale, electron and proton are same, just they are opposite. Neutron is neutral. But when you observe the mass in the last column, their masses are different. Electrons are very small, whereas protons and neutrons are very large compared to that. You can see who discovered the electron. So discovery of electron was done by J.J. Thomson, and he did a small experiment, cathode ray experiment, through which he emitted charged particles, and he discovered these electrons. So J.J. Thomson discovered electron in 1897. More than 100 years back, he discovered electrons in atoms through an experiment where he used electricity to charge the particles, and when they are released, he was able to saw this. So this is the diagrammatic representation of his experiment. So you can see the cathode and anode on two ends through battery which are connected, and when the current is passed, the electrons or the charged atoms were able to pass from one terminal to another terminals, which were observed by the Thomson, and he J.J. Thomson discovered. The proton was done by Ernest Goldstein in 1886. He also used the same experiment model, but he used another terminal to find the positive charge particles, to which he named Cannon rays, which further named as proton by him. This was positively charged subatomic particle of atom. And the next was the discovery of neutron, which was quite later after the discovery of electron and proton. That was done by J. Chadwick in 1932. It was discovered by him, and it was neutral subatomic particle of atom. Even though it is the same size of proton, it doesn't have charge, and even though it is larger than electron, still it doesn't have any charge on it. Once we known that all the things are made up of atom, it was very important to understand the structure of atom, and many scientists try to understand or do experiment to find how the structure of it is, and few we will study today. So one of the first who does was Thomson, and his model was called Thomson's model of atom, or which we also call as melon model, watermelon model, or plum pudding model, or apple pie model in some textbooks. So as you can see in the diagram, it's what Thomson thought was, it was spherical object which has both charge inside it. The spherical object consists of the positive charge, and electrons are embedded or fixed inside this sphere. So that was the thought of Thomson or J.J. Thomson, who thought that it's a uniform spherical, it has a uniform spherical structure, both positive and negative charges are inside it. He can explain that due to equal charge, if you count the number of positive and negative charge in the structure, they are equal, so it obviously is a neutral. But Thomson was unable to explain how this positive and negative charge are clubbed together, because if you see a magnet, we can't join south and north pole at one place. Like that, this positive and negative charge cannot sit at one place together. So his model was unable to explain it, and to understand this further, second scientist Rutherford tried to study it, and he also done an experiment where he used, so in his diagram, in this diagram you can see that he has used at the middle a gold foil. From one end he released alpha particles. Alpha particles are nothing but charged helium particles which are positively charged, and once he released these, you can see on the other end there are detectors who can detect where these alpha particles are falling. So as we know, if you take a foil or a sheet, if you throw something on it, it will stop it. But on the contrary, Rutherford, what he observed after once he started to bombard this alpha particle on the gold foil, was that most of the alpha particles passed through it. Some of it were deflected, and very few, or actually just one, was able to bounce back at 180 degree. Okay, so that means the sheet has gaps to pass, to let pass the alpha particles, and very few were able to deflect or turn, because the positive charge, this positive charge helium were passing through empty space. That means the atom has actually some space between itself to let it pass. So the atom must be somewhat empty in between. So this was Rutherford's thought, that positive charge is at the center and negative charges, electrons, are revolving around it. So by this he discovered this nucleus also. So nucleus was discovered by Rutherford based on his experiment, and he mentioned that the positive charge is at the center and electrons which are negative, they are revolving around it, but not in a fixed orbit, they are random somewhere. He was unable to explain how the electrons around the nucleus were revolving. Are they on a fixed orbit, or they are far from it or very close to it? He was unable to explain. So those were his drawbacks. So according what he done was very helpful, but there were some negative drawbacks or negative points or demerits of this, that he was unable to explain how electrons are revolving around positively charged nucleus, and if they are revolving, they should have acceleration, and if they have acceleration, at some point they should fall out of the circle, but they are never. So we know that atom is quite stable. Rutherford was unable to explain it, and at the same time he was unable to explain how the atomic mass of atom is was also able to solve how the atomic mass of atom is calculated, because at that time only protons were discovered in the time of Rutherford. Neutrons were discovered later. So he was unable to give the explanation for atomic mass. So we will stop here. If you have any doubt or question, let me know. We will continue in the next class. Okay, thank you.